Hey guys, it's Maj and Slayer here, and today I got for you guys a high-rated Dueling book replay. It is going to be Uryuk with 1,000 rating going up against Sky Striker Ace Rose with 1153 rating. That being said, let's just go ahead and right into the replay. We're going to go ahead and see Rose win the RPS. They're going to decide to make Uryuk go second. Opening hands are going to be Water Girl, Faithful Adventure, Torn Scales, Scythe, Boots. So even though he does open the brick of Scythe, still opens um combo to go ahead and try to make it work. Then opposing side we have Ghost Spell, Set Rotation, Widow Anchor, Multi-Roll, and Called by the Grave. So kind of opens up a way to get to Ray with the set rotation, and does have the Called by the Grave to answer the Scythe. So go ahead, activate Faithful Adventure, then normal summon Torn Scales, trigger that effect. Go ahead and add Draco back. Then use its add effect. Go ahead and add the Griffin Rider. And then go ahead and discard the Water Girl. And Water Girl effect. Go ahead, chain belt to that. So go ahead and stop them from getting out the token. And then just go ahead and special summon out Boots from there. Link the Torn Scales and the Boots away into Cherubini. Cherubini, dump Ancient Cloak. Boots effect, go ahead and add Shade Brigandine. Torn Scales effect. Then link Shade and the Cherubini away into Rusty Bardiche. Rusty effect. Go ahead, set the Pog Blade, dump the Riot Gloves. Gloves effect. Gonna go ahead and tag that out for a wing. Wing, revive out the Ancient Cloak. Overlay into the Break Sword. Break Sword effect. Go ahead. Pop itself. Bring out the Ancient Cloak and the Torn Scales. Torn Scales, discard Draco back. Send the Pog Blade. Turn those two into the Anaconda. Forgets to boost the Rusty by 800 attack with the Ancient Cloak. Bring out DP. Set the Scythe. End phase. Pop the DP and Verte. So this is a thing that I'm seeing people do when they ever have like DP and Verte, but the question though is like, why would you do that? Because you're not really playing around Super Poly, is what I got someone reply back to like one of my comments when I was going over like the remote dual YCS feature match, when I saw like the PK player just blow up his own Verte and like DPE, and I see some people do this at times when I decide to like spectate matches when I'm studying. Is like they pop their own Verte and DP, but I understand like it plays around super poly against certain decks, but like if you don't know what deck you're going up against, then like what's the point in doing that? You know, wouldn't you just want to rather keep the Verte on field for potential follow up? Because you know it has a link 2 and it makes it easier to link climb into like your link 3, like Unicorn or like your Access Code. Like I understand if you have like the Brave engine all set up, you know, you got like all your zones um on the field, and then Verte's blocking off a potential zone for you to do your break sword pop with Rusty once like you have a trap in graveyard. But this is just like so many zones free. I don't understand the point of this because you're playing into Ghost Spell harder, which I know the Sky Striker player already had, and you're playing into like Called by a little bit harder as well. Go ahead, top decks into the Mystic Mind, draw phase. Go ahead, Called by on the DP. Think on res, just trying to bluff something there. Go ahead, standby phase, bring out the Dasher. Main phase, activate the Mystic Mine. Set rotation, set the Widow Anchor. Pass turn. Go ahead, draws into the right. Pass its turn. Top decks into the Terraforming. Pass. Top decks into Ghost Spell. Pass. Top decks into Driver. Main decking the Gamma package. That's interesting. Pass. They draw into Torn Scales. Pass. They draw into Bell. Pass. Draw into right. Pass. Draw into right. Pass. Draw into Utility. Gamma. Stained Underwear. Discard. Ray. Discard Driver. Top deck Water Girl. Set Hornet Drones. Set Called by the Grave. Okay, I was about to say, I was just gonna fast forward that. Alright, so it looks like they just eliminate defeat because they don't have a main deck out. So moving on to game two. So if M Night player has Boots, right, Water Girl, right, Fateful Avenge. Well, opens up way too many ways to get to their Brave Engine. And second off, you're playing against Striker, and you know that they opted to go second against you, so why would you choose to go? I mean, yeah, you can set up the Scythe, but the thing is, this deck can like hand trap you to death is also part of the thing. Like, I know it's kind of weird, I guess, but I would personally try to make this deck go first because I mean Shizuku Pass isn't that good. Let's be honest. Um, then they got Area Zero, Called by the Grave, Widow Anchor, Set Rotation, and Ray. So this works, but it opens up like no going second cards outside of like Set Rotation that could get them to like terraforming, or not to get them to terraforming, but gets them to like Mystic Mine, I should say, to like, kind of function as a going second card. Let's summon out token with right, then effect the Faithful Adventurer, go ahead add Draco back. Go ahead, Ignition effect, add the Griffin Rider. Discard, then re-equip. Griffin Rider effects for summon itself out. Normal summon out Boots. Water Girl to special summon herself out. Go ahead, link those two away to the Cherubini. Mold its horn skills. Boots effects. Go ahead, add the wing. Horn skills to revive. Discard wing. Mill Ancient Cloak effect to go ahead, add Boots. Go ahead and link out the Boots and the Cherubini into Rusty Bardiche. Rusty effects, go ahead, set the Pog Blade, mill Rider Gloves. Wing, revive out the Boots. Overlay into Levier. Special summon out Ancient Cloak. Go ahead, Pog Blade. Gets tagged out with gloves. Go ahead, bring out the Torn Scales, Pog Blade. Link the Levier and the Twin Skills into the Dagda. Okay, now this time they do remember the attack boost on Ancient Cook because they want to go ahead and trigger Dagda off of it, so they can go ahead and set the Scythe. Link the Dagda and the Ancient Cook away into the Verte Anaconda. Then end phase, go ahead, pop the Verte and the DP. But they're doing the same misplay again, which is they don't even have a break sword pop set up in the graveyard is also the other thing. Or they also don't have Torn Scales into rotation. And you know you're playing against Sky Striker, which they're more than likely gonna have like going second cards. It's forms of like Widow Anchor, Shark Cannon, Called by the Grave, Ghost Spell. So why do you hold off on to do why do you do this is my question. Like you're just like losing harder to like the vanishing removal effect, you know? In like the graveyard or DD Crows. Pass, draw into the driver. Called by the grave, target DP. See, this is what I was just saying. Like you could have performed the scythe walk had you just granted I know they don't know exactly what was in your hand, but in my personal opinion it's more advantageous like in certain matchups to just leave like your DP on field rather just to pop itself, especially when you don't need like the zones to be cleared when you don't have torn skills or break swords set up in graveyard. Go ahead. Widow Anchor to negate out the Griffin. Then main phase, activate area 0, set the set rotation. Go ahead and reveal Rose. Ash Blossom Ray. Add the Rose. So they already have Ray in hand. Normal summon out Ray. Summon out Rose. Yep, just asking what they know. Gotta link those off into Zeke. Zeke effect to go and banish Rusty to the next end phase. Then Rose effect since your opponent since opponent's um extra deck monster left the field, it can push them itself out. Go ahead. Turn that into the Hayate. Hayate to poke. Effects. Go ahead, dump Afterburner. Then Zeke effect to go ahead and target another card they control, send it to the graveyard, make it boost attack, but they primarily want to go ahead and do that since they want to go ahead and bring out an extender from deck. We can go ahead and bring out Ray. I like the cool interactions like that because I'm actually learning this deck right now for Master Duel since I do play that occasionally since I am an online only player, and I think I'm gonna try start to doing like locals, see how I get the feel for it. I have Phantom Knights fully built on there. I'm at like Platinum Tier 3 right now, but I heard like at the remote YCS they had like a side event, and like the way they might be doing tournament matches is like you can like basically side out to like a completely different deck. And this was the other deck that I was looking to pick up since now I'm going to be forced to play a different deck other than Phantom Knights if I want to actually perform well in tournaments. Gonna go to Nagirsu. This is like a Dingirsu from like Orcus. It's like a non-targeting sent to like field to graveyard. This is like one of their outs to like Dragoon because they have a hard time outing it. Gonna Pogblade the Ningirsu. Go ahead, turn those into Access Code Talker. Just trying to eliminate as much follow up on the fan my player has. Pop, pop, pop. You can go ahead pass turn. And top deck into a Twin Twister. You kept that in probably for like Mystic Mine. Ancient Cloak effect. Try to search. Go ahead. Search out the Torn Scales. Turn the Torn Scales and the Dasher into the Dark Charmer. Dark Charmer effect. Go ahead. Bring out Ray, but they already have another Ray in rotation, but it doesn't really matter because they don't have a Strike Striker monster on field to take advantage. Switching out Ray from graveyard. Just gonna go and set the twin, set the right. You want to do Celestial Draw effects. You draw into Ash Blossom and the Water Girl. Guys, we're summon out the token with right. We're summon out the Water Girl. Turn the Dark and the Ray into Nightmare Unicorn. Go ahead, turn those into the Access Code Talker. Access Code to pop. Attack for 7,300. Pogblade, revive out the boots. And trigger twin skills as well to get in the last bit of 800 damage since they were at 700 life points. Moving on to game 3. You're going to see the Sky Striker player make the Phantom Knight player go first. Opening hands are going to be Torn Skills, Boost, Celestial, Water Girl, and Ancient Cloak. So this works. And we have the Widow Anchor, Area 0, Orna Drones, Nibiru, Upstart Goblin. So it does see one going second card. But they do have the Brave Engine to counter it though, which is why like a lot of people are like, feeling weird about like nib this format because it's not good by itself, but like combined with like every other hand trap, it's like god tier. You know, classic Veiler plus nib. I know even Ogre plus nib is actually pretty decent because it technically negates like the Griffin Rider, but a little bit sidetracked right there. Go to Water Girl effect, add the right. Go ahead, bring out Token, bring out Faithful. They don't hard open this for once in this game. And Faithful Adventurer. Go ahead, add the Draco back when they almost win Twin Scales. Then effect to add monster. Discard the Draco back, then re-equip. Switch summon out the Griffin Rider, switch summon out Boots. Turn those into the Shirabini. Then on that summon, try to go ahead and use Nib. Then chain the Griffin Rider. Go ahead, mill the Stained Greaves with Shirabini. And Boots effects, go to add the Shade Brooding. Go ahead, trigger out Torn Scales to revive itself. Link off Brigadier and the Shirabini into Rusty Bardiche. Go ahead, set the Pop Blade, mill the Ragged Gloves. Go ahead, tag out the Ragged Gloves for the wing effects. Go ahead, revive out the Stained Underwear. Turn those into the Levier. Go ahead, bring out the Ragged Gloves. Then Stained Underwear effect. Go ahead, bring out the Ancient Cloak from hand. Then go ahead and bring out the Dagda, Ancient Cloak, then trigger Dagda, boost up the Rusty. Link those two off into the Birthday Anaconda. Go ahead, bring out DPE. See, are they gonna? They keep on doing this. They keep on popping their own DPE and Birthday. Top deck into a Gamma. Damn. Go ahead, bring out DP and standby phase. Go ahead, upstart. So they don't immediately go ahead and pop the scythe because they want to go ahead and try to play around possibly a Mystic Mind first. Since they got like destroyed by a game one. Then they're gonna go ahead, upstart, and they drew into Widow or Area Zero. I think no Ash Blossom, sorry. NDP in response to Widow Anchor, gotta pop itself and the scythe. You gotta chain Gamma to effective scythe. Yep, when it tries to use its on field effect, not the graveyard effect, because it was chain blocked with DP. Now they can go ahead and use Hornet Drones. Oh, in response to Gamma, actually chain Hornet Drones. Because if they go ahead and let the Gamma resolve first, then they'll have monsters in their main monster zones and wouldn't be able to go ahead and activate it. Then go ahead, Area Zero effect, target Gamma. Go ahead, reveal Token Collector, Ghost Spell, and Rhoda. Go ahead, turn those two into the Zeke effect. Go ahead, banish the Rusty. Looks like they're thinking on that. Go ahead, and negate that with Fog Blade, then Kagari effects. Go ahead, add back the Hornet Drones. Link off the Kagari and the Gamma into the Krishan Hoki Fibrax. Then chain Hornet Drones to that. Then bring out the Effect Veiler. Turn that into the Selene. Bring out the Effect Veiler. Link off Selene and Effect Veiler into the Axis Code Talker. Go ahead, boost attack. The effect of Axis Code Talker. Go ahead, pop the Faithful Venture. Turn the token into Hayate. An Axis Code Talker effect. Go ahead, pop the Rusty Bardiche. Attack. then attack with Hayate. Go to dump Ray. Link off Hayate into the Shizuku. Go ahead, add engage during the end phase. Go ahead, pass, top tech into the Twin Twister, DP in standby phase. Go ahead, set Twin Twisters. Celestial effect to try to draw. Ancient Cloak effect. Go ahead, add the boots. Go ahead, trigger Twin Scales. Thinking quite a bit here, especially out the boots. Go ahead, turn those into the Break Sword effect to pop itself, and the Axis Kotaker. Break Sword effects. Bring out the gloves and the Twin Scales. Link those two off into the Dark Charmer. Bring out Ray. Go ahead, Boots effect. Go ahead, search out the Pog Blade. Go ahead, DP effect. Go ahead, pop the Twin Twisters and the Shizuku. Link off the Dark Charmer and the Ray into Nightmare Unicorn. Go ahead, discard Pog Blade. Spin back the Area 0. Pog Blade. Revive out the Break Sword. Access Kotaker, 5300 attack, then DP's 2500 attack, so not enough for game. Does even up in life points still against the Sky Striker player. But they do have Engage in hand with already 3 spells in graveyard. So, gonna be going up against, like, you know, a recursable potted grid with, like, they've only been through, like, 1 Kagari so far, so. See what you got, Yugi boy. Gonna top decks into the Widow Anchor. Go ahead. Activate Engage. Goes ahead, searches out Ray. Draws into Mystic Mine. Ooh. That's just gonna bait out the DP, negate, and then they can just go into Hayate, poke for game. I mean, it doesn't even matter. You didn't even need to use Widow Anchor, bro. That's the funny part. Yeah, trying to make them take it so that way, you know, Mystic Mine would be affecting their side too. Yep, just go Hayate pass, or no, Hayate poke and pass. Out of the cards. And yeah, so, man, that was one hell of a top deck, not gonna lie. But we are going to go ahead and see the Sky Striker player go ahead and win that 2-1. You know, I do like the more pure version of Sky Striker more than like the DPE version. Like it kind of does help you get to like your Sky Striker engine faster, is what I was playtesting with, by like popping your own Area 0 and stuff. But I really felt like the deck lost like good consistency with the DPE engine, and like it's able to like take advantage of like Mystic Mine really well, like how this player was using it as well. Granted, you know, can't do that in Master Duels because like Mystic Mine is banned on there. But yeah, looks like they're on pretty hard going second build with like the main deck Gamma package and such. So, but I like it. I mean, majority of like Sky Striker decks do use the DPE package as well. So it's nice to see them take advantage of like a more pure version of Sky Striker. And we just kind of saw like the fancy type player just kind of get wrecked by Mystic Mine, which is, you know, still something you gotta be aware of. Even though we do have Draco back right now, that helps like, you know, keep Mystic Mine in check. It's just always gonna be a card that's, you know, comes in and out of formats, and just got kind of something you have to keep like in the back of your mind as well, in case if they out like your Draco back and like you have nothing else to like fall back on to like out it. But that is going to be it for the video. Remember to go ahead and check out the July_TC Discord server. Really nice Discord server to do remote duels, master duels, or just to come and hang out. And with that being said, hope you guys have a nice day. Peace.